Coming up next, Forecaster John Bordash goes over the latest forecast, timing of the winter storm, and impacts you can expect in southern Maryland and across the mid-Atlantic. Stay tuned. This live forecast begins shortly.
After a 2-year snow drought, accumulating snow is looking likely for southern Maryland. As snow moves into southern Maryland, turn to JB Weather for the latest. Forecaster John Bordash will be providing around-the-clock coverage, providing the latest analysis, forecast updates, and live reports to keep you and your family ahead of the storm. When winter weather strikes, JB Weather is looking out for you.
Coming up next, Forecaster John Bordash goes over the latest forecast, timing of the winter storm, and impacts you can expect in southern Maryland and across the mid-Atlantic. Stay tuned. This live forecast begins shortly.
Brought to you by our sponsors: William Richmond Inc., Farmers Home and Auto Insurance, the Bob Koski Agency, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNeil's Group Properties, the Charleston Senior Community, and Chesapeake's Bounty. Now, here's a weather alert update from JB Weather.
And good morning, Southern Maryland. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you right now to give the latest update right here from the JB Weather Storm Lab. It is quite a busy morning, and I'm going to make sure to get you all caught up with the latest information. One of the pinned comments for you is going to be an article I just finished writing up that gives you all of the information in one spot, and you can go ahead and share that to get everyone on the same page. Another piece of important information is that bottom ticker for you does show expected snow totals, storm total snow totals, so not on top of what you have, but total accumulation forecast from me, and that's going to be running the entire time down below. Taking a look at live cameras from across the region, we are looking at a lot of snow falling. This is a live look at Callaway, where we have Route 5 at 246. Snow is accumulating on grassy areas and starting to see some accumulation there on the road. If we move things on over to Leonardtown, where we see Route 5 meet 243, snow accumulation still showing up across a large portion of the region. Taking you live now to Lexington Park, we'll see the exact same story, and we will see the same story as you head over towards the Thomas Johnson Bridge, starting to see that snow accumulate on grassy areas. The bridge right now doesn't look too bad, but I'm sure that will change here pretty quickly. Taking you on up towards Brandywine and parts of PG County, where we have 301 out at Route 5. We are talking about a lot of snow starting to accumulate up that way. And one last live look for you takes you into parts of Charles County, getting close to Nanjemoyne and over towards Indian Head. We're looking at snow accumulation there on the roads. What can you expect? Well, so far, we have seen through 920 generally getting close to 1 to 2 inches in our region. Those 4 to 6 inch amounts so far have been really confined to our south and west, as that's where it's been snowing pretty much all day so far. This will really start to move into our region. We are already starting to see an increase in snow totals, and I'm sure we will continue to see that as we head later into this morning. Now, if we take a look at the latest snow emergencies, these are issued by MDOT. This tells you where travel is really not advised, and this is where parking on snow emergency routes is not really going to be allowed, and where you really should just limit travel. Those counties that are shaded in white, that's in effect for St. Mary's, Charles, and Anne Arundel counties locally, as well as some counties out in western Maryland. So do keep that in mind, and I'm sure these will be expanded to include Calvert and Prince George's counties. As the day goes on, I'm pretty sure we'll see that come in effect for PG County here pretty soon. We are all under this winter storm warning. It goes until 7 o'clock for Calvert and St. Mary's counties. This goes until midnight tonight for Charles and PG County, where the changeover to sleet and rain will happen later. as well as the DC metro area and parts of central Virginia, including King George. This goes until 1 a.m. down towards Westmoreland County in the northern neck of Virginia. And that's not a typo. That does go until 6 a.m. on Tuesday for Anne Arundel County and parts of the Baltimore metro area. This is where that second round of snow Monday evening could potentially bring another round of snow to that region. Snow start time, again, don't really need this graphic so far. Most of us have seen that snow start, but if you have any interest towards the upper eastern shore or the Philadelphia region, snow will be starting there here pretty soon, almost imminently up towards that region. The final call on this first wave of snow, again, a general 3 to 6 for most of us. We may see lower totals in southern Calvert and St. Mary's counties where you switch terrain a little quicker than everyone else, but still respectable totals. And given trends I'm seeing today, you're probably going to be a little closer to that 4-inch amount than that 2-inch amount for many areas outside of like Scotland and Ridge. We then transition over to rain and freezing rain. I'll give you timing on that in 1 second, but that ice threat is going to be the highest along I-95, but some areas could still see a glaze up to 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain in parts of the region, especially areas like Bryant's Road, Akakie, over towards Brandywine, Indian Head, and Passaic over there in Charles County. Then phase 2 works in Monday evening into Tuesday. I will say this forecast is likely too far to the south. The latest trends we're now starting to get in here to the storm lab that I'm looking at with the latest model guidance suggest that this coastal low will develop about 50 miles to the north. That should take most of this 50 miles to the north, but I do still think that leaves most of southern Maryland in about 1 inch of snow or so that we can expect Monday evening as additional snow showers move through. A storm total forecast looks like this, but let's really zoom in on southern Maryland. Areas from St. Leonard to Loveville point south, probably looking at about 3 to 5, maybe closer to that 5. Amounts go up as you head further north, so Prince Frederick over to Mechanicsville, about 4 to 6. We increase that to 5 to 7 from Dunkirk to Chesapeake Beach to Waldorf, and then all the way up to 6 to 8, maybe even 6 to 9 by the time you head up towards Bowie and DC. Most of this is what will fall today. Areas in Anne Arundel and PG County see higher totals because they will likely see snow from this as we head over into the day tomorrow evening into Tuesday morning. Here is a timeline for you of what you can expect as we move through the day today going into tonight. We've already started to see some of the moderate to high impacts on our area roads. I showed you that just a second ago, and those will continue from right about now through about 4 o'clock. That's when we will see our heaviest snow. Then we change over to maybe a quick mix of sleep. We could again see a glaze to up to maybe 0.05 of an inch of ice before we move over to rain, but that might even be a little overdone because we might not see that much rain move through the region, and travel will just not be advised today, especially this evening going into the overnight hours. One other thing I want to make note of is snow days are going to be very weird tomorrow in southern Maryland. If schools close, every county I'm sure will do it different. A close in one school district will not mean the same as a close in another district. So make sure you're checking in with your school district at the latest guidelines and information from them. I will try to have the best information on that here on JB Weather. You can go to jbweather.net/closings for Southern Maryland's Closing Central's latest updates, and I will continue to try to keep this updated for you. If this was a non-pandemic world, though, I don't think we'd be talking about that much. We would be talking about school closures for tomorrow. What does the latest Futurecast show? Let's walk you through that right now. This is Futurecast showing 9 a.m. Most of us are seeing snow. As we push this forward here, we see snow continue as we head towards the lunch hour, and then Futurecast really develops this. It's been persistent throughout the day, and this updates every hour with new quantitative data. This just finished running. This really puts down a band of heavy snow trying to move through parts of the northern neck, parts of St. Mary's County, Calvert County, over towards the lower eastern shore around midday. That is why we could see totals be higher in this region than I forecasted, and you see those totals down below. They could be a little higher than 2 to 4 or 3 to 5 if this does indeed happen. Continuing to move this forward into the midday hours, you see that band of heavy snow by 1 and 2 o'clock sits over really the same areas, but does start to expand north. We have that zone of sleet and rain down to the south trying to make its way north. And by the time we head over towards about 3 to 4 o'clock, you can see, if we zoom in here, that rain and sleet line is now penetrating southern St. Mary's County down towards Ridge and Point Lookout. And we will see that continue to move further to the north by about 6 o'clock. That's getting up towards Prince Frederick and La Plata. And then by about 7 o'clock, this is getting on up into northern portions of Anne Arundel County. And then by about 8 o'clock, most of us should be over to rain. What I want you to notice, though, is that we are looking at a lull, a dry slot working into our south and west at this time. That will move into our region, and Futurecast really just clears us out by midnight, maybe some rain showers. So this will still put a damper on snow totals after the fact, so we will likely still see 3 to 6 inches of snow. The rain can maybe take away 1 to 2, so what might be left would be maybe 2 to 4. And then we see, again, this has almost nothing as we head towards 2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Snow continuing well to the north, seeing some high totals up that way. This model, in terms of snow totals, this always underdoes it. I have not found a way to fix that. If I back this up a little bit, because this shows snow depth and not total accumulation through the day. This shows you generally the highest totals will be to the west, but we will see some higher totals in our region as well, and I might be able to take this back a little further to really try to show you that. And I might need to use a different way to look at this. And I can get that shown right here, right now. So give me 1 second while I get that loaded up. Let's get the latest HRR model, HRRR. It's a nice name for a model. And I can switch this over. I have to move everything around on my screen. This model puts a general, and actually if we use a different version of this, that really allows us to kind of get into it. Maybe I was being a little too happy with that. This puts down a general 3 to 5 in our region. We start looking at more 5-inch totals possible if we start to see that heavier band set up in our region. So that is 100% possible across our region. I will now get to your latest questions, actually, and I'll give you the latest look at radar. This is our southern Maryland radar. It shows snow continuing to move through. We have some isolated dry spots trying to work in, which was kind of expected. But we continue to look at light to steady snow across much of the region. In more of a regional view of this, we'll show you. Those are current snow totals. Again, rather impressive so far. We're getting already close to just about 1.5 inches towards DC. But a live look at just about everything. Yeah, a lot of snow. That snow sleet line, rain sleet line is still well to our south. But I will try now to get to some of your questions, get to these comments, and see what you all are talking about. Brandy, we've got about 2 inches in Ridge and Park Hall already. Thank you for that, Brandy. And the totals I showed you just a second ago, these totals would be on top of what's already fallen. Important to note. So that would lead to a lot of snow in our region. So I do want to make that distinction. It's very important. While I answer them, we will come here. Hello from Dunkirk. Hello, Elizabeth. 1 inch already in Leonardtown. Thank you, Wesley. And of course, Kathy, this is my full-time job, so you all will always get my full attention and dedication. Kevin's snow slow, but already a 1 1/4 inch temp of 30 degrees in Faulkner. Thank you for that, Kevin. Is it still gonna turn and come back? Kathy, I think you might have asked that before I got into that part of the forecast. It might still happen. Snow showers still probably look likely Monday evening, but it probably won't be any more than maybe 1 inch or 2 in our region. Barbara's reporting some pretty steady snow in St. Indigos. Sonia is saying no snow days for Calvert County. And Sonia, I'm not. It's weird because I think Calvert County is all virtual. If I'm not mistaken, I don't really know. You all would know better than I do. But I've heard a whole bunch of different things. Everyone seems like they're an expert on this, and everyone gives a different opinion. So I don't really know. I'll wait for an actual thing from the school system. But I would assume that potential could be there for something to happen in terms of closings and delays. And thank you, Racy, for following. I appreciate that. What's it looking like for Southern Maryland, the Lusby area? Jamie, you should see Calvert County pop up on the ticker. Probably just went through. and you will see those totals right there. And this is a look at the storm timeline. This applies for Lesby as well. So I think it's a dusting in St. Leonard. And thank you, Erica, for following. Heather wants to know, my hubby delivers tonight. Should we be concerned about the roads? 100%. That road meter here, that is red all the way through the evening, and then that stays orange probably into tomorrow morning. Sharon says that Fredericksburg has about 4 to 5 inches. Jamie, of course, thank you for following. And Lesby, it'll come back through. This ticker runs through the entire time. Probably about 3 to 5 inches in Lesby, maybe a little bit more. How much wind will be coming with the snow? I actually haven't looked at the latest wind gust here in a second, so I will. I feel like I need a fourth screen here. Let's switch you over here. I need to get this over to no longer Futurecast, but actually Futurecast will. That would work out well, actually. So this will look weird for a second. Wind gusts. That's for 3 p.m. I would like to load right now, though. 9 a.m. There we go. We're almost at 10 a.m. So we will let the loop is loading. So I'll show you a Futurecast with the winds here in a second. Current wind gusts are being estimated probably around 15, 17-ish miles an hour. You can see here, that's what these yellows and greens kind of indicate would be over 15, but below like 20, 25. The blues are below that. But if we move this forward here, winds continue to gust throughout the day. By the afternoon, we're talking 18 to we'd call about 15 to 25 mile an hour gusts. Then we start to see winds increase this evening as the coastal low starts to take over. Gusts could, and these are gusts, not sustained winds, but these gusts could potentially get up towards maybe about 25, 30 miles an hour by the afternoon. And then these really increase this evening. We could see wind gusts upwards of 40 miles an hour out over the open ocean. Through parts of our region, we're talking wind gusts getting near 30. Right around 30 to maybe closer to 35 miles an hour. And that's this evening as we continue on. Tonight will be when the winds will likely be the heaviest, or the highest rather, gusting upwards of 35, maybe up to 40 on the eastern shore. There we go. Let's see, if internet is affected, we will close schools in Calvert. So take that for what it's worth. I mean, that would make sense to me. So, I'm super excited finally gets to go forward and get some snow. And you're going to want to do that, Ginger, probably this afternoon, early afternoon before he switches over to sleep. I think where you see those red bars, that's probably the best time to go out for the kids to go out and enjoy the snow. And I think... let's see what's going on with Solomon's. Good covering, but good covering, but keeps stopping. So Mom, Solomon's I believe is in the ticker. If not, probably about 3 to 5 inches, and there will be dry spots that work through as well. And this is for a lot of areas as well. We zoom out. I mean, you can see some dry spots trying to work through, and that's just the nature of the storm. The overall arc of this morning into the afternoon will be steadier snows to start to move in. Let's see, Teresa, night shift nurse going from Calvert to Montgomery. Have to be there at 7. How will Montgomery be? Any idea? So Teresa, this is probably going to be about the same for this timeline for Montgomery County as well. If I take you back here to Futurecast, I will show you Futurecast radar. I want to load that, and I think this should load loop. And we will allow that to load here. But there will be snow around. So I would definitely expect that, and this should be good to go now. So by 7 o'clock, by 5 o'clock, you're still snowing. By 6 o'clock, you start to turn over to sleet and rain, and that eventually makes it up into Montgomery County by about 9. So you will likely still have snow-covered roadways and ice-covered roadways. Even when it's raining in Copper County, there will still be snow on the ground. I would 100% expect that. See the snow in the background? So we should expect snow drifts in Chesapeake Beach. A little bit. I wouldn't expect them too high like we're looking at a blizzard. I don't think we're talking 2-foot snow drifts, but you could maybe see some 6 to 8 inch snow drifts. JB sponsors, he needs a 4th monitor. Yes, I have a monitor here where you see me. I have a monitor over here. My laptop is down here, so those are 3 screens, 2 computers. I need like 1 over here. Maybe 1 up here or something. Let's see, David, what type of road conditions should we expect Tuesday morning? So let's start to get us out a little further in the forecast. I can show you that. And I think I can make this a little bigger so you all can see, because this appears to be the only way that this wants to work. So we are going to head over to our NAM model, because that's going to take us out a little further. And let's bring it back here. Let's head over to reflectivity type, and let's push this through. And just so you all know why it can sometimes be weird for me to like get you total timestamp right away. You see this right here? This is the timestamp that the weather model gives us. It's in Z time, which is universal time. That's like 0 UTC time. So this is 5 hours ahead of us. So I have to do the mental math at 13 minus 12 minus 5 to get to where we are. But as you push this forward, this shows the NAM model is different than what I just showed you. Shows snow, but you can see how it kind of breaks up a little bit. So this is something I'm watching too. Maybe another dry slot tries to work in. This is around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. This model has been very persistent on wanting to get this sleet and rain in here a little earlier, so don't be surprised if that happens. We look at just rain showers. This is going through Monday morning now. Nothing too big. You can see the more moderate and heavy snows up to the north here. And as you continue to push this forward, some scattered snow showers. This is Monday evening. By the time I head over towards Tuesday, maybe one last gasp of snow showers tries to work through. This would be 7 a.m. Tuesday morning, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. So snow showers try to linger through Tuesday as well. Total accumulation this puts down. So this would be for both phases, and that did not click the way I wanted it to. Would be 2 to 4 still to come for much of the region. Snow totals it puts down through now. Again, this is not the model I always use, but a general 2 to 4. Will the snow pick up in California? It will become a little bit more steady, a little bit more moderate in nature, Marie, as we head towards about lunchtime or so. I missed all your posts. I'm at work in Chicago. What's all they're supposed to be like here later on today? Shannon, so this chart here gives you a good idea what to expect. There is a pinned comment, though, that it has all of the graphics I've used today, all the latest information, sponsored by R.E. Graves. Richard is a great guy. I would definitely check out his HVAC business. Great work. You get a 20% discount when you check him out. But B, you also get a lot of information. I can actually probably show you that if I come back over here. If I take you to JB Weather, it's in my bookmarks. JB Weather's in red mode online. If you come here to the blog and we let that load, and then here you go, snow underway. You come in. Let it load. It shows you snow totals we've seen so far. I've shown you this graphic. Snow emergencies. I've shown you that graphic. The call locally. So 4 to 6 in Mechanicsville. This is storm total. So what you've already seen plus what will still come. The warnings. And there's text as well. I feel like not a lot of people read the text. They just try to look for the pictures, which is fine. I do the same thing. There's a video here, a Futurecast. So you can play it for yourself and kind of see what's going on along with that timeline I'm showing you. Closings, and you can access those closings by coming up here, pressing on the closings button, and there you go. Yeah, Z is Zulu time, yes. When is the rain going to start in St. Indigos? Let's come back over here to Futurecast. Futurecast has rain starting to move into St. Indigos. This version has it like, and you're right down here in the tip of St. Mary's, like 4 o'clock-ish. The other model has about 2 o'clock, so I would say sometime probably between about 2 and 4, I would expect. Heather, how much is St. Mary's going to get? St. Mary's, the snowfall forecast is going right now for you, so you can check that out there. And you can see what I just showed Shannon, that post in the pinned comment. Go ahead and click on that. I'll give you a full rundown of what to expect. Snow total for Philly, probably over a foot. I would expect probably like 8 to 14. When do you think the switch over to rain by the Bay Bridge tonight? If we come, let me get this screen back up. Oh, so many things are open. So again, Bay Bridge runs right through here. I don't know why the software doesn't pick up on it, but this model has that switch over here across the Bay Bridge by about 7 to 8 o'clock, and then over to rain by about 9. And what I will do actually is get this to our Southern Maryland view. Doop. We zoomed out. And I'll just let this loop through a couple times for you. Now, will I be able to go pick up my prescriptions tomorrow, or will the roads be too... I mean, so if we don't... Like, what we're seeing right now, the rain looks like it might calm down by the overnight hours, which would still leave snow and then maybe a layer of ice as well. So I would expect on the roads still going into Monday. So I would expect low travel difficulties will continue into tomorrow. So that might be a little bit too hard for you. Amber, how much for all the snow totals are down below. Not that I don't like answering your questions, but I did this to try to avoid all of those in my backyard questions, so people had that for you. So that St. Mary's County should come up right after Prince George's County, and Leonardtown has a pinpoint for you. And Jan wants to know what Pax River. I would use that Lexington Park number that'll come up here. There goes St. Mary's County, Avenue, Chaptico, Hollywood, Leonardtown, so there you go, Amber, 3 to 5. Lexington Park, 3 to 5. And then here's a look of Futurecast. So what does the different purples mean? That is a good question, Kathy. So if I come back over here into Futurecast, so the darker the purple, the heavier the snow. So if I zoom out, you can see where the storm is beginning. These are like almost like white colors up here. There isn't much, but down south, these are more moderate colors. The darker purples. The pink here represents sleet. So that's an important distinction to make. So the blue purplish color here, this would be snow. This pink down here, that is sleet. Then the green and yellow, so that's rain. You see that move through. Doop. So yes, that is the latest information I have for you. We are going to continue to track this. I will have updates every 90 minutes here on JB Weather. So the next one will probably come around 11 to 11:30 sometime in there. And I will continue to keep the forecast updated and continue to give you all the latest information I have. You can always get the latest forecast on Facebook and Twitter, and then on the website as well. Will the rain wash away the snow in Annapolis so I don't have to shovel the driveway? Kimberly, so Futurecast shows rain getting into Annapolis, but it's not as much as I had once thought. So that could potentially mean that it only washes like an inch or two away. So you might still have to do some snow. When does purple hit La Plata? So the time frame, we come back here to give you a time stamp on the, so this heaviest band of snow we see right here, that deepest purple. And this might show up as a different color on your screen. Maybe it's more blue. That heaviest snow band, though, moves into the plate around 2 or so. And then that pink, which might show up as purple on your screen, I'm not sure. But this little mix area moves through between about 5 and 6. Yeah, thank you, Mike. When should I expect rain in Callaway and Dameron? So this model has by 6 rain. I would expect sometime between about 2 and 4, maybe closer to 4 or 5 o'clock. So let's call 3 to 5 o'clock to switch over to rain down there in southern St. Mary's. But again, that's the latest I have for you right now. Keep it tuned to Facebook and Twitter for the latest information. I will continue to keep this forecast updated. You can go to the website. There are a whole bunch of posts on there to get you covered and get you through the storm with the latest information. I'll have live updates throughout the day today and going into tomorrow. I will be here for you to get you updated with the latest information. In the meantime, though, I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Thank you so much for joining me right now. Have a nice and safe one, and keep it tuned right here to JB Weather.
After a 2-year snow drought, accumulating snow is looking likely for southern Maryland. As snow moves into southern Maryland, turn to JB Weather for the latest. Forecaster John Bordash will be providing around-the-clock coverage, providing the latest analysis, forecast updates, and live reports to keep you and your family ahead of the storm. When winter weather strikes, JB Weather is looking out for you.
Coming up next, Forecaster John Bordash goes over the latest forecast, timing of the winter storm, and impacts you can expect in southern Maryland and across the Mid-Atlantic. Stay tuned. This live forecast begins shortly.
After a 2-year snow drought, accumulating snow is looking likely for southern Maryland. As snow moves into southern Maryland, turn to JB Weather for the latest. Forecaster John Bordash will be providing around-the-clock coverage, providing the latest analysis, forecast updates, and live reports to keep you and your family ahead of the storm. When winter weather strikes, JB Weather is looking out for you.
Coming up next, Forecaster John Bordash goes over the latest forecast, timing of the winter storm, and impacts you can expect in southern Maryland and across the Mid-Atlantic. Stay tuned. This live forecast begins shortly.
After a 2-year snow drought, accumulating snow is looking likely for southern Maryland. As snow moves into southern Maryland, turn to JB Weather for the latest. Forecaster John Bordash will be providing around-the-clock coverage, providing the latest analysis, forecast updates, and live reports to keep you and your family ahead of the storm. When winter weather strikes, JB Weather is looking out for you.
Brought to you by our sponsors: William Richmond Inc., Farmers Home and Auto Insurance, the Bob Koski Agency, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNeil's Group Properties, the Charleston Senior Community, and Chesapeake's Bounty. Now, here's a weather alert update from JB Weather.
And good evening, or good morning, Southern Maryland. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you right now to give you the latest update here from the Storm Lab on what we are looking at across the region. If we can load up quickly, maybe we can get this to go quick. There we go. The live look out of Callaway, Maryland 5 at 2:46. The snow is here. The snow is coming down. We are seeing a decent amount of accumulations on grassy surfaces, and we're even starting to look at some accumulation here on the roadways for a lot of the region. So we will continue to see this snow move through. I think the peak time to see snow is about from now through 4 p.m. And this is going to be something we are going to continue to track. So far, we have seen snow totals generally in southern Maryland of about an inch or two. The highest totals so far have been back to the west, which is what the forecast kind of called for most of yesterday. That's what we talked about, that the highest totals will be back to the west, but those will be moving into our region as heavier snow begins to move into our region, and we'll get timing on that here in just a little bit. As we move this slideshow forward, we do now have snow emergencies in effect for the Tri-County area, Calvert, Charles, and St. Mary's County, as well as Anne Arundel County. This is giving you the heads up that we are looking at snow moving in. We know that, but this is the Maryland Department of Transportation telling you limit your travel, do not park on snow emergency routes. and let the plows do their jobs. Travel is not advised during this time period. Winter storm warnings remain in effect for the entire area. For Calvert and St. Mary's counties, these go until 7 o'clock. After that point, sleet and rain is likely for almost all of those counties. We're talking about a midnight end time for the D.C. metro area, including PG and Charles County, as well as for central Virginia down towards King George County. This will expire at 1 o'clock for the northern neck of Virginia, including Westmoreland County. And no, not a typo, a 6 a.m. End time on Tuesday for Anne Arundel County, because that would be an area that could see some snow that lingers through the day Monday and maybe getting into parts of Tuesday morning. Again, snow start time, I need to get this graphic out of here. We no longer need it. This was the final call for phase 1 of the forecast today. 3 to 6 inches for most of us. This is not additional. This is what's fallen plus what will fall the rest of today. 2 to 4 inches for southern Calvert and southern St. Mary's County. We're already about halfway there. We're at 1 to 2, some areas getting close to 2 or maybe even close to 3 inches in far western portions. If you have any reports from like Indian Head or Bryan's Road, let me know and we'll get that programmed into the computer. But this was the storm total forecast for our region, and I still think we're sitting pretty good with this forecast. We will transition over to rain and then a little bit of sleet, maybe some ice, and then over to a period of rain this evening. We could see up to a glaze of ice in our region. I will detail the timing on that in just 1 second. And then that second phase of the system, the coastal low, will begin to move snow back into our region Monday evening into Tuesday. This is all likely too far south. This is what I put up last night, and I'm not one to change my forecast in the middle of storms. I will acknowledge if they're wrong, but I won't change it. I will live or die by a forecast. This forecast I'll probably die by. I think the coastal low will probably form about 50 miles to the north and track about 50 miles to the north, really impacting parts of southern New England and the northern portions of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So this probably all needs to be shifted about 50 miles to the north. This is, again, Monday evening into Tuesday, and I still think we could maybe get an inch or so out of the snow showers that remain Monday evening and Tuesday morning. The storm total forecast, 4 to 8, 3 to 6. Let's zoom in a little bit and break it down. A lot of the numbers you see here, this is what will fall today. About an inch in every location is what will fall Tuesday. So take an inch off of what you see here. So if you take an inch off of the Lesby total, we're talking 2 to 4 inches today. If you take an inch off of Pax River, 2 to 4 inches. Take an inch off of Dunkirk, you're talking about 4 to 6 inches. So I think that is what we're talking about. The bulk of this does fall today, but about an inch or so will likely fall on the day on Tuesday, likely in the morning. So that would be a zoomed in forecast for you. And we have the ticker title at the bottom to show you the latest or my snowfall forecast. Again, this is for the entire storm, what's fallen plus what will still fall. This is the storm timeline. I will update this once we're done here to show the afternoon and evening and into tomorrow morning. But the heaviest snow, again, is falling right around now through about 4 o'clock. And I'll show you more about that. And again, in 1 second, we change over to a quick mix with sleet. Later on this evening, probably between about 4 and 8 o'clock in our region, and then we move over to rain. Travel difficulties will be present for much of the region. If you want to get the latest closings, head over to jbweather.net/closings to get the latest information. I will try my best to keep this updated. It's a very weird time with the pandemic, so contact your school district to get the latest guidelines and information on what your school could do with snow tomorrow. Coming over now to radar, and actually, what I want to do is bring it over to, no, this radar would work, actually. So I need to actually get radar loaded first. Actually, we could throw all this on, why not? And I need to bring this over here so I can make sure everything is being seen. So as we zoom in, we see this, your eyes might initially go to this actually, this is the wrong radar. There we go. Your eyes might initially go to this dry slot that is out here in central Virginia. Areas that are seeing this dry slot have already seen about 5 inches of snow. I am not worried about this. Most of our precip is training in from the south. It's maybe like a southwest to northeast direction. I will let this load. This will look weird. It will get better in like a loop or two. But you can see the general progression of snow is moving southwest to northeast. And what I'm starting to notice, and what I'm getting signals of in the upper levels of the atmosphere, is that we're looking at potentially maybe a heavier band of snow that tries to set up from about Richmond to Salisbury, and that could try to move northward into our region. Zooming in, snow totals we're looking at, again, generally about 1.5 inches, so that falls within that 1 to 2 inch range. 2 to 2.5 over towards the Fredericksburg area, and a little bit less over towards the eastern shore, but again, snow is really overspreading much of the region. To give you a look at timing, Let's move this over here. Let's play it through Futurecast. This is right now, this shows the potential for some heavier snow up here in southern St. Mary's County. And what I actually want to do quick is just show you the live cams here. Again, this is Callaway. This is what we're seeing right now. Look, we have heavy snow in that region. If we head over towards the Leonardtown area, we are looking heavy snow, or probably more moderate snow falling over there. The Thomas Johnson Bridge just gets a little weird because you can see a little raindrop there, but there is snow falling out that way. Going over down towards Lexington Park, there is snow falling there. Benedict, we see snow. Chesapeake Beach, you see snow. And guess what we're going to see when we head over towards Charles County, Nanjemoy? You guessed it, snow. This road I see has been covered from time to time. It doesn't look as covered right now because we are looking at more, we're looking at plows coming through, and that with that snow emergency, they are allowed to definitely get their job done, which is great. But coming back over here, let's take a look at the latest timing. This is this is a little earlier, so let's move it over towards 12. Futurecast, this is the HRRR model, really tries to develop that heavier snow band down to our south and tries to get this to move further north, and you can see that by 1, 2 o'clock, this model all day has been very consistent with this, and this model updates every hour with new data. That's why I like using it. It's up to date. It shows this heavier band of snow potentially trying to move into parts of southern Maryland by 1, 2 o'clock, so that's something I will be watching, and this could help out with snow totals a little bit. But then we see the rain snow line moving northward. This model brings it into southern St. Mary's around 4. If we move, if we can move forward here. Ooh, I'm trying to get that sleet to look good. That's fine. You get the idea. Sleet then starts to move into like Lexington Park and getting close to central St. Mary's County by about 5. And we see that continue to move further north by about 6 o'clock. It's up towards Prince Frederick and the Plata. 6:30, it's getting into northern Calvert, northern Charles, starting to enter PG County. Let's get that playing again. By about 7 o'clock, this is now getting that rain-snow mix line all the way up into northern Calvert, PG and Charles County, or PG and Anne Arundel counties, and moving this forward. It gets that rain line all the way up to Baltimore by this evening. Again, you see rain showers, but we are looking at the potential for rain to maybe not be as heavy or as prolonged in our region. That dry spot will move in and will kind of help to usher out the rain. This model, in terms of precipitation, if we can get it through about 10 o'clock, this brings in, I would say, probably 75% of this is snow. So this gets in only probably about a 1/4 inch of rain, a little bit more to the south. But by and large, we're not talking about big-time rain concerns, so this could help to try to preserve that snowpack a little bit. The winds will start to increase this evening, though, and we will see winds getting upwards of wind gusts getting upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour this evening. And we will continue to monitor that into Monday morning. Monday morning, while there won't be a lot falling, rain and sleet showers may be present. The roads will still likely be slick, so keep that in mind. And then snow would potentially start up again probably sometime around or after sunset on Monday into Tuesday morning. So that is the presentation I have for you. What I will do is load up one of this traffic cameras again, and I will get your comments live to kind of answer your questions and see what we're talking about. Let's see, almost an inch here in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I just went out and shoveled and cleared off the cars. We have about like half an inch. And Rick is saying, stay off of Willows Road, it's getting bad. And I would believe that, especially up towards, I believe that would be northern Calvert County. All of Calvert County, again, is under that snow emergency. If I can show you that is me. That snow emergency is in effect for all of Calvert, Charleston, St. Mary, so travel is not advised this afternoon and evening. And this is in effect until further notice, so just keep that in mind if you're headed out and about. Wesley's saying snow is picking up in a Great Mills, about to go measure. Wesley, let me know what you do measure. Will the rain wash away the snow? The rain will probably wash away about an inch or so of snow, and Prince George's County was now just added to the snow emergency. So I need to get that posted. You all still get to see my face in the forecast. So allow me, my apologies, to get this posted up here for you. So people that are not on the live stream are able to get that information. This map will not update live. I would need to update it, and I won't do that until I'm off of here. So give me just 1 second. Breaking. Prince George's County joins Anne Arundel, Charles, Calvert, and St. Mary's counties in declaring a snow emergency. Very fun times. We will post that. Let's get that up over to Twitter, and then we will come back here to the live stream, and I will talk a little bit more. So that would now mean all of our local counties are under the snow emergency now, and this is up until further notice. These alerts are issued by the Maryland Department of Transportation. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're seeing heavy snow to like an emergency level, but what that does tell you is that we are looking at least some snow impacting travel across the area. Again, if we come back over here, Callaway is looking very snowy. I have this up on my other monitor consistently, and I find myself looking at it a lot. Benedict, we see the snow. If we come up here towards Brandywine, you can see we have snow falling, snow covering the grassy areas. And then if we just pick a camera at random up here near the Annapolis region, let's look over towards the Bay Bridge. That's not a good camera. Yeah, here we go. US 50 at Maryland 2. It is snow covered, and it looks like we're getting snow accumulation there in Anne Arundel County on some of the major interstates as well. So you do want to keep that in mind. Again, that snow emergency is up for a reason. It will not be safe to travel, especially if you don't have four-wheel drive and you don't have something kind of weighing down your car a little bit. Rachel wants to know what I think about schools tomorrow. Again, schools are going to be, it's going to be a hard call. Not because the forecast is cut and clear. In a non-pandemic world, I think schools would close tomorrow. The issue is that schools, even if they would close, some of them might still do a virtual. Not every school system will do the same thing. Not everyone will observe a snow day the same way. So I don't have those answers. And if I were a school administrator, I'd probably close school. My partner actually works for a school district up here in central Pennsylvania. And back in December when we saw snow up here, they're in a hybrid schedule. And even still, the superintendent closed school like a typical snow day so kids could be kids. So we might see that happen across our region. I think that would be nice to happen. I think a lot of parents and kids would appreciate that. How about incorporating a snow sledding forecast? Well, Gail, I should do that. What I have for now, kind of a makeshift thing, would be this snow timeline. Anywhere you see red, that is the best time to get some sledding in, I think. Elizabeth said still waiting for more snow. Yeah, we'll see more snow. I mean, we have a lot of snow down to the south. I mean, look at all the snow down to the south that still needs to move through. I would be inclined to believe maybe we switch over in southern St. Mary's between 2 and 4, and then that progresses northward. I already see that mixing line getting close to Richmond. We'll see how quick it's able to move up. And I do see some local dry slots working in as well. That's not overly surprising. If we come in here to the Andrews Air Force Base radar, we can see a couple of dry slots here working through parts of King George County, Stafford County, but then we have this band of more moderate snow setting up through parts of St. Mary's County, St. Mary's City to Leonardtown to Solomons. That would be pushing north and east, north and east, and then we have more snow bands to the south that would be pushing north and east. So we should still see a decent amount of snow before we switch over to sleet and then rain. Let's see, Jones Drive to Waldorf from Leonardtown tomorrow morning. You'll probably have some issues. Roads will probably still be slick tomorrow morning. Thoughts on road conditions in St. Mary's County for Monday? They will be impacted because the rain won't last as long as we initially thought it would. This evening, that will not wash away all of the snow, and temperatures will still be in the lower to middle 30s. They'll just be a nudge above freezing. That's why it won't be pure snow that's falling. So there will probably still be some slick spots on the roads. So I think travel conditions tomorrow will be kind of iffy, especially first thing in the morning and then in the evening when we could see additional snow showers move through. Katrina wants to know how much Pennsylvania is getting. Probably about 6 to 12 inches or so, depending on where you are. We're still getting the 4 to 6 inches in St. Mary's. So let me go back to that forecast, because I do think some people might have misinterpreted somehow the snow forecast. I'm not sure how they would have. So a lot of what you see here, it does fall today. Take an inch off for what will fall Sunday and Monday night into Tuesday. And that's not just me saying that now. This snow forecast for Monday into Tuesday is 1 to 2 inches, and this right here is a storm total. So take about an inch off. Most of St. Mary's County probably seeing about 3 to 5 inches, probably closer to 2 to 4 in the south part of the county. And to me, if I want to know if I'm near York, PA, no, I'm closer to Harrisburg than York. See, I work in Southeast DC. I just stay in a hotel tonight. Can I go home to Leslie tomorrow after work? 2 inches in the Navy Yard. You probably could. I mean, I'm sure that there will be some issues tomorrow evening, and I would just be aware of some slick spots. Lindsay's reporting just over 2 inches in La Plata. Aaron saying she's measured 1.5 inches in Hollywood. It's picked up quite a bit in the last couple of minutes. Yeah, if we come back here, we zoom you back into radar, we can see this little bit of a heavier band here working through Leonardtown, Lexington Park, California, Hollywood, getting to southern Calvert County. And if we actually play radar through, it should allow me to do it. Gotta let it render a little bit. You can see these snow bands coming up from the south and west. JB, where the model showing the secondary load is set up, and what will it mean for us to get additional snow? Tim wants to know. Tim, not too much has changed since we last talked. Let me try to see if I can't just get up our models. I will show you what they're showing right now. All right, so let's just let me move my water out of the way. Let's just do an East Coast view. It should be able to show you pretty nicely. Let's get over to the name. This will give a nice regional overview. Okay, so this is how things shape up right now. Again, this is pretty spot on for what is actually happening. There's the primary low. That secondary low will form off the Carolina coastline. It will move further out, and then look how it kind of tucks in along New Jersey. It kind of spins around a little bit. So look where that heaviest snow band sets up. All of our models have been very consistent, showing that now in southern New England and northern New Jersey. And that brings heavy snow up there. Again, look, we could still see some snow showers in our region. And then as we move through Tuesday into Wednesday, this puts down an additional about 2 inches in our region. This puts higher totals up or towards New Jersey, maybe up to 2 feet. I think that might be a little overdone. If I show you the snow totals that our HRRR model has for the next couple of hours here, let's get over to Maryland. There we go. So additional snow totals, this puts an additional 3 to 4 inches, maybe a little up to maybe close to 5 remaining. I'm not sure I buy that. Our NAM 3K model, lower totals, maybe an additional 2 inches or so, and I think that's probably a little bit more spot on. What are we expecting in PA near the Hazleton area? I just went over that, and today I know you probably left that before I got to it, so I'm sure you saw that. Major snowstorms in March. I mean, lately March has been a lot more of a winter month than December, so I definitely think it's possible. Let's see. Travel is not a vice snow emergency. That is 100% right, Michelle. You probably already mentioned this, but I just joined. You mentioned a break in between the phases. Are we still on for phase 2 in southern Maryland? And Catherine, I think you might have sent that before I got to it, because I just showed it, but we might see some snow showers. If I bring this back, I will show you what the model is showing for the potential to see snow Tuesday. So this is Monday afternoon. Again, rain and sleet and freezing rain showers around. Then we might try to see some snow bands try to wrap through the region, generally to Monday evening into Tuesday morning. This might leave an extra inch or so. This model is a little bit more aggressive, showing the potential for snow lasting throughout the day Tuesday. Musty's at 2 inches in Great Mills. What does the commute look like for tomorrow morning? It's going to be kind of tricky. I'm going to make a graphic up and put that up on Facebook and Twitter and over on the website of commute conditions for tomorrow morning. They will be hazardous, I think, for a lot of the region just because click spots will still remain. Let's see, 1 inch in Solomons. Thank you for the report. I know Charles has teachers and admins so coming in if they didn't appreciate telework. So I know we have snow day plans in place. Thank you for sending that, Rachel. I know. All right, looks like I'm getting the CNN guy. Yeah, apparently my weather reports are equivalent to CNN now. I don't know what that means. I live in Harrisburg too, so 6 to 12. Yeah, Katrina, I'm not too far from Harrisburg. I'm in Mechanicsburg. Probably 6 to 12, 8 to 14, somewhere in there. Up and around probably double digits. So yeah, so this is the latest I have for you. I'm going to go ahead and get some graphics thrown together and get this forecast updated a little bit. I will do another one of these probably around 1:30, so stay tuned for that. And I'll continue to keep you updated. So again, stay tuned here for the latest. I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Have a nice and safe one, and keep it tuned right here to JB Weather.
After a 2-year snow drought, accumulating snow is looking likely for southern Maryland. As snow moves into southern Maryland, turn to JB Weather for the latest. Forecaster John Bordash will be providing around-the-clock coverage, providing the latest analysis, forecast updates, and live reports to keep you and your family ahead of the storm. When winter weather strikes, JB Weather is looking out for you.